Good evening. Happy Monday, happy Monday. And welcome to Manic Mondays with Miss K on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform. Today I have a special guest. Not only is he a father that has been affected by CPS and his corruption, but he's also, again, my husband. So we'll let him, express the things that he's been through in just a few moments. I wanted to kind of address some things when it regards custodial and non-custodial parents. When when the judge imposes certain things when it comes to parenting time, um, the interaction or the communication you may have with your child, if one parent is interfering in that parenting time, that is parental alienation, that is custodial interference, and that is unfair to your child as co-parents, that personal differences based on how that person made you feel, during your relationship or during the interaction since then, again, is unfair to the child. Now, I always speak on things that refer to myself and I keep it on the I. I've experienced, separation, custodial interference, parental alienation, but not only has CPS, enforced those things on me, my own personal inner circle has done the same, even the opposite parent. And just be mindful, parents. If certain things are happening within your household and there are parents that are trying to communicate from afar, you need to work together, collaboratively and collectively to make it compromising, cordial, and conducive for the child. You don't get to be affected by how you feel about the other parent because at one point in time, there was something between you, or whatever situation may have come about, there was something there that put that level of trust or that level of comfortability when it had something to do with the other parent. So I say that to say this. Just like CPS steps in and they corrupt our children's perceptions of us, we too, as parents, have to take accountability as well to those things that we may have fallen short by, such as, medical needs, educational needs, therapeutic needs, and overall progress and upbringing based on cultural differences. Like I've said before, there is never any bad parenting, just unsafe parenting. So, there are a lot of things that play interference other than the other parent, such as CPS with their corruption, such as foster care agencies and their dynamics, and those that are representatives of that foster care agency, such as the case planning teams and its entities, and the foster parents and surrogate parents. So you have to be mindful. Everything you say, every impulsive action you may have, every emotional movement that you may make poses an image to your children, and it may make them look at you in a different light. Because once a child is comfortable with glamour, glitter, and gossip, it's very hard to keep that level of relationship or the things that may entail within and the dynamics that brought it about. So you may have a toxic relationship with one parent and may not have the same with the other. Each child is different. Each child has a different personality, each child has a different makeup. And certain things that may happen within a family dynamic, within either your upbringing or the way that you may parent, also makes things very different. And if you, as the custodial or non custodial parent, and the opposite one as well, cannot work together and show your child that you can work together, although the relationship didn't work, then it will make it easier for them to not have to choose. Because that's basically what it looks like. That our children have to choose, excuse me, that our children have to choose which parent that has raised them, either the parent that has raised them or the parent that they enjoy spending the parenting time with, based on whatever activity or demeanor the situation is, I guess, going along with. You meant for certain situations, and as adults you do not get to put your anger, your discernment, or your misunderstanding of how the opposite person may have grown, matured, evolved, or just overall changed. People can change. Everyone is subject to change. I am living proof of that. And based on my experiences with CPS and the entities within that corrupt agency, it is very hurtful, insulting, and harmful, not only to our children, but it strains the relationship that is already tense once the removal is implemented. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the kids, first and foremost. And as the parents, when you may gravitate to a new relationship, whether it be boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it be entanglement, friends with benefits, or ultimately a marriage, you have to be mindful that the person you were with that child's mother or father is the way the child remembers you. So if you have shown that child that you have grown, you have changed, you have evolved, and you have ultimately matured and changed, that side of you will open a different side of each child, any child, and every child. You don't get passes and play victim when you allow certain things based on emotion, impulsivity, and your trauma or life experiences or lack thereof. So, like I said, parents, just be mindful. Yes, of course, CPS is definitely corrupt in all aspects. And I am living proof of that as well. But I want to touch on a certain topic of when the non custodial parent is parenting from afar and may have had a toxic relationship when the relationship was active with that other parent. But when the other parent moves on and, either remarries or reengages in another intimate relationship, mothers and fathers, we have to be mindful that our children would never be placed somewhere where we think they would be hurt, disrespected, or violated in any way, because we trust these people with our precious cargo. But when we, even though as mothers and fathers, we make mistakes, but you don't get a pass when you are neglectful. There is a big difference between a mistake, an accident, and just pure, straight up neglect. And that's what I feel parents should actually touch on too as far as taking ownership, because it's not only CPS. We allow these people to be corrupt enough or to violate boundaries and certain rights that we as parents have. And I'm not saying that as I'm on their side. Never could be. I am an offending parent with a history of many things. But let's take, for instance, my husband, who has no criminal background, who has no ACS affiliation, and who is ultimately a dad that has evolved and allowed the situation he was in to make him want to be better, to do better, and to know better for his children and the future children to come, if need be. So I want him to be able to express his frustrations when it comes to the interference in communication, the backlogging of the court system, and just overall bias and corruption when CPS is on the fence and could possibly be tagged in at any time based on the custodial parents' history. So without further ado, again, my name is Akima Richardson, and this is Manic Mondays with Miss K on Attorney Davis's platform. And I'm going to introduce my guest, my husband, Malcolm Jordan II. Go ahead, hon.
Hey
Introduce.
everybody, how y'all doing? First off, I'd like to say thanks to my wife for letting me come on Manic Mondays with her to help fight against CPS. I just want to be like all these features you see on my shirt right here. We want to be killers towards CPS. Not as far as the physical, but as far as the mental. Like getting rid of everything. They just too corrupt. They separate families and everything they're doing is wrong. And I've been a witness of that before I even started my own case, just seeing what's been going on in my wife's situation is pretty much hectic, and it takes a strong person to be able to hold on and just be mindful and willing to just keep on fighting and not give up. And I just gotta commend her on that. Like, she's a warrior, and she's the whole reason why I'm fighting as hard as I am to try to get our son here too. With that said, um, it's constantly truancy. Just now today, I made a phone call to set up a meeting for truancy with his school board members. You know, names not to be said, but facts just to be stated. And also moving on. With that said, we scheduled the meeting, and I'm waiting on a phone call that I should receive within a couple of days. They told me 72 hours I should hear something. And once again, I'd like to thank my wife for that. She strategized that for me, and she gave me the idea for to come up with that theory, and I applied it, and it worked out well. Um, as far as the truancy, like I was saying, um, it's simple. Like, everything is in black and white. It's like it's been going on for years, and it's like nobody has been paying attention to it. Like, it's like just been getting by and constantly getting by, and it just keep on growing. And it's constantly neglect from the school board. It's constant neglect from his mother, and he just really needs a strong foundation, and I feel like that we can give that to him. And I feel like he's destined for better things. But like I said, he needs a strong foundation. As far as the negligence goes, this medical negligence, I said once before, my son, he hasn't had any medical attention since 2017. And if you all aware, it's 2025. So you can see it's been a long time coming, and nothing's been done. I'm not being met with the information that I need to try to get medical, to get his Medicaid going. It's like the mother is, it's like she's refusing to help me at all. I reach out and I get turned away. My wife reaches out and sometimes she gets turned away. To be perfectly honest, when she applies her method, she gets a whole lot more done than I do. I'm not even gonna lie about that. And I'm grateful for her. And like I said, as far as the truancy, I had a phone call from one of my son's teacher one day last week, and it was during report card times, and he was telling me that he's progressing in his grades, and yes he is. I will say that, but I stated to him that the problem still remains that he's missing time from school, and how can he grasp on to the basic knowledge if he's always missing days of school? And his school also they don't give out homework, which is weird to me. Like, anybody out there think that's weird besides me? Because I know when I was going to school, we always had homework. It's called homework for a reason. But anyway, with that said, he doesn't get homework, and the teacher said that he was present in school when 2 days. In fact, I know for a fact that I contact him at home, and the first day he was at home in bed, sick, sleep. The second day he talked to me on the phone for 15 to 20 minutes at the time that he's supposed to have been in school. So once again, they're falsifying documents as well as the medical, as well as the educational. So with that's why I say it's truancy, and it's a dirty game that's going on. It's just like I'm fighting my best, and I'm putting forth all my effort. Sometimes I feel like, you know, that I pretty much ran into another hurdle, but I just jump over it or either run through it. At the end of the day, you know, I got my wife in my corner, my greatest inspiration to keep on pushing and fighting this battle. Um, what more can I say? Like, we love our kids, we want our kids here, and I know there's a lot of people in America that's going some of the same situations. Some might be worse. And you know, my heart goes out to everybody that's in this war, fighting for theirs. You know, don't ever give up. Whether you're a father or a mother, if you feel like that you have to step up and you have to do what you have to do to bring your kids home, do what you have to. Just fight till you have no more wind in your lungs. You know, I mean, you just gotta keep on going, because if you don't do it, who else is gonna do it?
Is there anything else you want to let our viewers know? Because unfortunately, I've ran into a bit of an emergency, so I'm gonna have to cut tonight's show short. And I will definitely fill you in. And we want to thank Mr. Jordan for coming in as a guest and speaking as a father on the things that he feels are neglectful. And again, this has been Manic Mondays with Miss K. We want to thank Mr. Malcolm Jordan II for being our guest. And we will see you next week, same place, same time. Grace.